45 minutes left. Archangel Michael saying, a big miracle will happen in your life, but you are making a big mistake. Please don't do this. Open immediately. The hourglass has almost emptied, and heaven's voice is trembling with urgency. Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of your breakthrough, wings stretched, sword glowing, but your next move could either unlock the miracle or seal it in silence. You are standing at the edge of glory, but a single misstep will collapse the bridge beneath your feet. Time has started folding in on itself. 45 minutes remain in the unseen realm before an irreversible moment crosses into your life. This isn't metaphorical. It is literal, spiritual, and marked in divine fire on a heavenly scroll bearing your name. God says, a miracle was dispatched to you 3 nights ago, when your name was whispered by a trembling angel standing before the throne. It traveled with speed, pushing through layers of resistance, through storms built by ancestral wounds, curses, and betrayals. And now it floats above your household like a shimmering cloud of light, waiting for your alignment, craving your awareness. Archangel Michael says, your name has been spoken in the realm of angels. Your past suffering cried out louder than any prayer, and heaven responded not just with mercy, but with power. A supernatural blessing, enormous and irreversible, was commanded to seek you out. But now, there is interference. You cannot see it with your natural eyes, but spiritual winds are shifting. The moment you felt weary this morning, the hesitation in your chest, the subtle feeling of dread, it was not random. Something ancient has risen to delay what belongs to you. God says, someone in your bloodline once made a vow against the very thing you're about to receive. And now that your miracle is so close, that vow has awakened like a chained beast in the cellar of time. It is not your fault, but you are the one chosen to break it. The atmosphere around you is not quiet, it is roaring. In the spirit realm, there are sparks falling like fireflies from the wings of warrior angels as they surround your dwelling. Something enormous is drawing near. But something equally dangerous is crouching low, trying to poison the moment with a mistake disguised as comfort. Archangel Michael says, you are favored, but fragile in this moment. That is why you have been feeling confusion in your sleep. That is why your body has been tired even when your mind was restless. The veil is thin right now, and what happens next will echo into the months to come. There is a timer on your breakthrough. Not because heaven is cruel, but because certain alignments must be met in the realm of free will. And you are now within the 45-minute window of divine convergence. The trumpet has already sounded. The seals have already been broken. The miracle is already hovering. But you are doing something, unaware, that could cancel it. You've been replaying old griefs. You've been rehearsing loss. You've been keeping ties with something, or someone, that heaven is trying to sever. And as long as you keep looking back, the angel carrying your blessing cannot place it in your hands. God says, this is the hour you must stand still and listen. The sound you hear in your chest, the pounding, the tremble, that is not anxiety. That is the spirit inside you being stirred by approaching glory. You are closer now than you've ever been. But so is the enemy. Something you were planning to do, perhaps later today or tonight, is actually a snare. You thought it was harmless. You thought it was small. But in the spirit world, it is a flashing red symbol that signals open access to the forces assigned to delay your blessing. Archangel Michael is not warning you to frighten you. He is warning you because this moment is too sacred to waste. A scroll with your name has been opened. A key has been forged in heavenly fire. And your life is about to change in such a way that you'll never return to who you used to be. But only if you do not fall for the trap being dangled before you in these last minutes. There is a voice, familiar, persuasive, that may speak to you soon. Whether by call, text, memory, or physical presence, they will sound safe. But they are carrying something spiritually unclean. This is not about hatred or blame. This is about energetic contamination of a sacred delivery. If you answer them, meet with them, or respond to their energy with emotional openness, you will delay what has already been sent. The miracle is delicate. It requires a clean entry point, and anything unhealed, unrepented, or still clinging to you from old soul ties will become a magnet for interference. God says, the heavens are open. But the earth must be ready. As you read this, an angel is stationed at your door, not visible to your eyes, but stationed all the same. They have been sent to guard, guide, and report. Their wings shimmer with the residue of heaven's thunder. They are here because your name is written in radiant ink among those whose season of struggle must end. But you must hold still. You must not say yes to the thing you've already been told no about in your spirit. You must not step backwards into comfort when you are being called forward into destiny. You must not let loneliness be your ruler when heaven is trying to marry you to fulfillment. The temptation will seem small. The mistake will look reasonable. But the cost will be staggering if you accept it during this window. Archangel Michael says, I have stood between you and destruction. I have unsheathed my sword on your behalf. Do not let your hands rebuild what I just tore down for you. Something better is coming. Something bigger than what you prayed for. But it requires your silence, your stillness, your spiritual sharpness right now. This is not ordinary time. This is divine collision. This is holy fire. There is a crack forming in the spirit realm. It is small, nearly invisible, but it is enough. Enough for a whisper of shadow to creep through. Enough to taint what is still pure. The moment you allow this mistake to live unchecked, it becomes a doorway. Not a door you meant to open. but a door the enemy has been waiting decades to slip through. Archangel Michael says, the atmosphere around your life has been trembling for days. Even if you haven't noticed it directly, something has been shifting. People you thought were distant have suddenly drawn close. Old habits have begun to look attractive again. Silence has grown heavier. That is not coincidence. That is pressure from both realms, light and dark, colliding because your miracle is dangerously near. You have entertained something that seemed innocent. But it is not. It is the very thread being used to unravel the cloth of your breakthrough. This could be a thought, a conversation, a person, a plan you keep privately in your heart. You told yourself it was harmless. But in the spirit world, that lie has become a license. God says, what you call small, I call spiritual. What you're doing, or about to do, is not just a decision. It's a declaration. Every action you take in these final minutes announces your loyalty, to either delay or destiny. And right now, you are teetering. A pattern is trying to repeat itself. One you've seen before, but maybe didn't recognize as a cycle. That moment where you almost succeeded, almost got free, almost found peace. But something always pulled you back, distracted you, wounded you, or seduced you with a shortcut. That's what's rising again now. It's wrapped in new packaging. But it's the same demon. The miracle is so close that the enemy cannot stop it. But he can delay it if you reach for the wrong thing now. This mistake may not feel dark. It may even feel familiar. But that's what makes it dangerous. Familiarity breeds blindness. And blindness in this season is fatal to your breakthrough. You may be planning a conversation, a visit, a response to someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. You may be revisiting an old relationship in your mind. Or you may be preparing to take a shortcut in your process, skipping over what your spirit told you to wait for. These are the landmines. God says, the mistake you're making is rooted in fear. The fear of missing out. The fear of being alone. The fear of being wrong. And fear has never been a good counselor. It wraps itself in logic but whispers in the voice of ruin. This isn't about perfection. It's about obedience. The angel assigned to your case cannot override your decisions. Heaven has sent the miracle. Archangel Michael has cut down resistance. But the decision at the gate is yours alone. The skies have begun to bend under the weight of divine movement. A great descent is underway. Wings like radiant fire stretch from one horizon to the other. Archangel Michael has already drawn his blade, not to fight, but to clear the final veil. He is not alone. Other angelic forces move beside him in silence, holding sacred scrolls sealed in golden wax. Your name is etched into one of them. Not written, etched, permanent. This is your moment, but heaven waits to see what your heart will choose. This is no longer about good or bad. This is about alignment. The angel descending toward your life is carrying more than just a blessing. He is carrying a shift that touches your entire bloodline. Old cycles are about to break. But only if the heart is found worthy to carry it forward. And so, the weighing begins. God says, I am not testing you. I am revealing you. This moment is not a punishment. It is a revealing of what you've hidden from even yourself. That unresolved pain you buried beneath strength. That quiet resentment you dressed as kindness. That doubt you disguised as wisdom. It is all surfacing now. Not to shame you, but to burn off what cannot survive in the new season. A scale hangs in the spirit. It is suspended between now and what's next. One side carries your obedience. The other, your desire. And it is desire, wild, impatient, unrefined, that is tipping the scale off balance. The miracle is here. The angel is here. But the question remains, will you bow your desire to divine order? Archangel Michael says, you are closer than your emotions suggest. This weight, this exhaustion, this strange pull toward giving up, it is not the end. It is the sound of your inner world shedding what cannot cross the line. You're shedding people, habits, even ideas about yourself that were never yours to begin with. This is spiritual molting. What hurts right now is not the delay. It's the resistance your soul is giving to obedience. You know what to do. You've known for weeks. But you've been waiting for the pain to leave before you act. That's not how divine obedience works. You obey while it hurts. You act before it makes sense. And that is what makes the heavens move. Someone is about to return with a smile. But beneath it is a spirit that once bruised your destiny. They will seem healed. They will sound convincing. But their presence is a test. Their energy is not new. They come bearing something that looks like closure. But it's actually a cage. God says, I have sent an angel to weigh your heart because of what is coming next. What is being delivered into your life is not small. It is not temporary. It is legacy level. You are being positioned for something so holy that even your ancestors are watching in sacred silence. They wept. They waited. And now you stand at the edge of what they were never allowed to touch. But there are rules to glory. And purity of heart is one of them. This doesn't mean you must be flawless. But you must be willing to release what you secretly cling to. The idol of what could have been. The image of who wronged you. The subtle craving for revenge. All of it must go, now. Archangel Michael says, your time is so near, Even the air around you tastes different. The veil is thinning. You can almost feel the miracle approaching your doorstep. A flicker in your chest. A chill that runs along your arms. The sense that something massive is about to shift. That is not imagination. That is divine confirmation. But here is the danger: there is still a 45-minute window where your decision holds everything in place. And you are still wavering. A soul tied to confusion cannot inherit clarity. You must decide which spirit you will respond to in this final hour, the one from heaven, or the one that mimics it with familiar pain. The miracle is not delayed. It is waiting on your alignment. The angel has not withdrawn. He is simply circling, waiting for the gate of your heart to fully open. Not halfway. Not conditionally. Fully. This is the moment you must say no, not just out loud, but in your soul. You must say no to repeating your past. No to settling for comfort over calling. No to giving emotional access to people who once poisoned your peace. No to performing humility while secretly boiling in bitterness. The angel hears what you truly decide in the chambers of your silence. The weighing is almost complete. But the scale is trembling. A single act of surrender could tip it into release. A single moment of choosing light over familiarity could break the lock. Don't underestimate the weight of your yes. Or the cost of your hesitation. God says, I have watched the angels pause, waiting for your next move. Not because you are being punished, but because heaven honors your free will more than you realize. You have more power in this moment than you think. And that's why the enemy has poured confusion into your thoughts like smoke into a room. You cannot afford to second-guess what your spirit already knows. You've outgrown the person you used to be. And now, the shell of that person is tempting you to return. To shrink. To pretend you are not worthy of this next level. The angel descending into your atmosphere carries oil, sacred oil. This is generational appointment oil. The kind that changes not just your address, but your identity. The kind that rebrands you in both heaven and earth. But oil cannot fall on what is still loyal to shadows. The sky has darkened slightly. Not because of danger, but because of imminence. The moment is upon you. The wind has changed direction. The birds near your house behave strangely. Time itself is slowing. The earth is exhaling. It is time. The weighing is ending. And your heart must tip the scale before the hourglass empties. Don't do what you're about to do. Shut the gate. Say the final no. The miracle is standing just beyond your threshold.